Hi, welcome back to my channel type stuff. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name's Carly. If you're not new here, thanks for the support. I appreciate you. In this video, I go over my 8 makeup tips that I find extremely helpful and I implement into all of my makeup routines and when I do makeup on clients. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. I'm not necessarily going to be showing all of the steps I'm doing in this makeup. I'm pretty much just showing you my tips and tricks, and I'm just going to like record the parts that I think are my tips and tricks. This foundation obviously does not match my skin. I'm just trying to use up old foundations that I have, and it's this Makeup Forever one. It's just a sample, and it's obviously not my skin tone right now, but it makes me look nice and tan. If you ever are using a foundation that isn't your skin tone, but you still want to look natural to some extent, make sure you blend your ears. Like, just taking the excess of this and just going over your ears makes the biggest difference. The next step is, I feel like I have seen too many people use dry beauty blenders and it makes me want to scream inside. So my biggest tip, first and foremost, is to wet your beauty blenders. And I just think this is just such an important part, because when you wet your beauty blender, first of all, you're ensuring that the least amount of product is getting into the sponge. So my next tip that I like to do, I just put way too much on, when you're concealing a pimple. So I just got a pimple literally right here. I don't know why I got it there, but my biggest tip is to take your concealer and literally let it just sit there, and like, I'm just gonna blend. I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to do concealer over here. We're just gonna figure it out. But to let that sit, because when you let it sit, you actually allow the product to sink into your skin better than if you were to just put it on, blend it away, and all that stuff. So my next favorite tip is, I picked these little mini beauty blenders up at Kohl's probably a couple months ago, but this is literally key to getting into these corners, because I feel like every time I use a regular size beauty blender, that you can't get in with this little corner. And I just think this is literally the perfect alternative to it, because it just fits so perfectly right in your eye socket. And then, I mean, I've used my beauty blender to pretty much just blend out everything else, because it's just faster and quicker that way. But yeah, so that's been sitting on that pimple for a bit. So I just like to blend. If I am doing this, I like to blend out like the big part first and kind of work my way up. So then I'm gonna take my mini one and really just like press and make sure that that product gets inside. But yeah, this is perfect for getting in the corner, so I definitely recommend getting these. I got these from Kohl's in like the beauty section for like $5. So this next tip, I actually saw on another YouTube channel. I don't remember which one it was, but it's if you don't have loose powder. And I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to mess with this, even though I've already hit pan in my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder. But you can take like a point of a brush and you literally just like you just like swirl it around, crack it off, and you literally get a loose powder consistency, so that way you can bake with it, do whatever you want with it. It really doesn't matter, but that way you are able to have a loose powder if you don't have one already. So this next tip I kind of discovered by myself. Not that people haven't done this before, but it's just a process I do now every time I like to do makeup. And it's kind of like a 2-step process with bronzer. So I like to take 2 bronzers. This one is by YC Collection. I think I got this in an Ipsy. And then one of my staples, I love the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I like to contour with this and bronze with this, if that makes sense. So I'll also be using 2 separate brushes. This is the Farrah Contour 218M, and then this is the BH Cosmetics brush number 2 in the Chrome brush collection or something. I got that for Christmas. I take my dark bronze shade. This is gonna be my dark bronze shade. I like to put it on a really, like, a flat angled brush. Not angled brush, because this isn't even angled. Tap off the excess. And then I just like to sculpt my cheekbone out right away. Because, like, sometimes you don't even know where it is when you're doing it, even though a lot of us pretend we do. And then before it, like, sets and gets, like, dramatically, like, this isn't just how, I mean, some people do wear their bronzer like this, but it's kind of a crime in the makeup community. And then I'm going to take my bronzer on my BH Cosmetics brush, tap off the excess, and I am just going to blend that upwards to just, like, it seems really rough, but, like, you just literally just got to keep blending it. And the key when bronzing is to literally just, like, push it up, because what you're trying to do is lift up your cheekbones. This actually turned out a lot harsher than I thought it was going to. Maybe this was my first time using that bronzer, so I'm just gonna take this and just blend that out. See, it's like kind of better to some extent. I am gonna go very, very lightly. Like, that's very pigmented, just for a little tap. And once again, just gonna draw the line right there. Go in with the butter bronzer. I definitely shouldn't have done as big as a stroke as I did on the other one. Oh well, you live and learn. And then don't forget to bronze the contours of your face. And this isn't also a makeup tip I've came up with. I mean, I act like I've come up with all these, I really haven't. But to take a translucent powder, I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent. And as you can tell, I made quite the stripe on my face. So I'm just gonna dip into this. I'm just gonna clean it up a little, just like that, just a little bit, you know, so it's not like, it's like your whole face. Like, you just need that, like, boom, like, see that line? I love makeup. And then, yeah, I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera, but I'm gonna let this sit while I do that. Okay, so my eyebrows are done, and then I'm just gonna take a really dense brush and just really just make sure I wipe away all of the baking product off of my face. And so, as you can see, it's more defined than before, and it's not as harsh. I mean, it's like cut, but like it looks better than before, let's be honest. So this next tip, I don't even remember where I saw it, but these have just like collected in my brain over years and years and years of doing makeup. Take any blush. I'm using the Sephora Colorful Love at First Sight blush. And what I like to do with blush on the apples of your cheeks. And you just, it's supposed to really complement the bronzer. So you do that. And then this has been like literally one of my favorite parts of doing makeup, and I love doing it on people because they're kind of like, hold up, what did you just do? Like, why did you do that? So many people ask me why I do it. Take blush, tap it off, and you just dab it in the middle of your nose, just like that. And I think you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just think this creates such a sun-kissed look. And like, if you think about it, when people first see you, they like look directly at you and then they fan everything out. So they look, they're like, oh, she's a little burnt or something like that. Like, yeah, because I'm in Illinois and it's 40 degrees outside. I'm getting burnt, so deal with it. So this next tip I think is essential when you're doing highlighter. Like, you don't always have to do it, but like, especially if you're going out and this is like your second, or this would probably be your second layer of like a setting spray. But I like to spray my face before highlighter because it just makes it pop that much more. So as it's drying, you only have a couple seconds to work. So I'm using my Ofra highlighter, and I think this is like literally one of the prettiest highlighters I've ever used. Ugh. So as it's like still wet on your face, tap it off and just wash the magic happen. And you just put that bitch on. Like, I don't know if you can see. Oh, I can't see because when I look sideways, I can't see my camera. But then I just like to highlight all the little high points of my face. I feel like I highlight my cupid's bow and it doesn't even stay. But like, can you see a reflection in that? Like, holy moly. This literally looks like I'm putting like a strobe light on my face. But that's the key, is that once you do this, you have to blend it out. Because although it like makes it pop, you don't want to look like a strobe light. But yes, just blend, blend, blend. Blend it all out. And you just get this really pretty glow on your face from that. And then I just like to continuously just blend everything as I do it, so it all just like comes together. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm back. So I pretty much just did like a gold smoky eye, and I just did it from the Morphe 35G palette, and it has all these beautiful fall shades, and I was like, I haven't touched this palette in a second, so why not? So I did that. So my tip, not a lot of people use eyelash curlers. I don't know why. I personally find them a game changer. I cannot put mascara on if I don't curl my lashes. But what I like to do is take my eyelash curler, and if you can see this, like, I just lift it up and I just repeat this a couple times, and then you have curled eyelashes. Like, I don't know if you could see that, but that looks, you can't really tell, but like, I see it. So I'm just gonna repeat, and then boom, then you have some nice prepped lashes. I forgot once again where I saw this tip. I love doing it to myself because I like to take any mirror. I love just using my the Balm Merrier Luminizer one. I'm taking this mascara. It's the Boombastic Lash Volumizer Mascara by Duce. This is beautiful. I love wands like that. Oh my god. Okay. So what I like to do with this, put that down. Make sure your mascara is already coated. And then I like to put it like directly, like right here on my face. So then you can see your lashes, and then you can, this way you can literally see where you're putting your product. And you can like see your lashes, you can see where the clumps start to form. You can just literally like do what you want with it, and you can just, I think this is just a really nice way to apply, because then you can really see and get down to the root of your lash. And then I like to wing out the tips. That was a lot of coats of mascara, but I mean, that's like, okay, that's why I love mascara. Look at that compared to that. Like, okay. Okay, don't say. And then I'm just gonna repeat this on the other side. I mean, obviously, like, you don't have to do that for the entire time. You can just look up at the end and just make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. Alright, I'm gonna finish up the rest of this and I'll see you in a sec. Alright guys, this is the final look. Even though I really didn't show you how I did it all, I just did my tips and tricks. But I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful. Please pass this on to a friend if you thought this video was helpful. If you have any tips or tricks of your own, please leave them in the comments below. I would be more than happy to see them. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.